you've probably seen the thumbnail and thought, what the fuck is this guy doing, right? It's cool kit bash ideas. We've been killing it lately. We I'm gonna move my camera by hand. We did some Sternguard vets. Those were all picked out by Chad on stream. And my first idea for this, to some degree, is my Judiciar. This is my Deathwatch Judiciar. He's just slain a Tyrannid Winged Prime, or a Tyrannid Prime. It doesn't have to be Winged Primed. Although, now that I think about it, I think Winged Primes are the only one with this giant head spike. But he's gonna have, I've got some UHU coming. It's gonna like, I'm gonna run it across, and he's just dragging his sword after the fresh kill, kind of not caring about it because it's a Tyrannid blade. And we might change up the color of this a little bit. Might do a dark red. I'm not quite sure yet. I wanted to try the original color of my Tyrannids, which is actually, I do have one right here. This is my Norm Emissary, and I like doing this. Honestly, the red bone sword might look a little bit better, so we might get it and cover it up with some maroon. We might redo this blood effect too on stream, but I kit bashed this on stream. I wanted to make this a two-handed giant sword, and when I say this thing is gigantic, this is the normal sword plus, well, okay, so take it from, it's just a touch taller, and that thing stands way taller than a Space Marine. My original idea was to have it straight up and down, but it was going to be too tall. It was going to look wonky, so I decided to go with like the fresh kill aesthetic. Even though it looks, it's the base isn't that wide. I've got a 40mm base. This is the best I could do with a 40mm base. I could have thrown some corkboard on it, made the base a touch wider, did a little bit of something different, but I don't like to do that. I don't like to adjust base sizes crazy. I'd rather have my stuff hang off. It's not like it's out of balance, and if it is, you can always just throw a counterbalance down, like a what would be a good example, a washer, something like that, to just throw on the bottom of it just to keep it balanced. But I've thought that looks super cool, so I've been having an idea. Should I do another bone sword? Absolutely, but this one will be shorter. This one won't include this and down. I'd say we're probably gonna cut to here, and it's going to be a shorter bone sword, because I think I like the giant executioner's bone sword a little better. For instance, in case you did not know what the Judiciar sword looks like, this is the Judiciar sword, and I like it hand swapped and everything. And it's got like, I don't know, a centimeter or two on it on both ends. So that's why I like this. I had to swap hands completely around. I had to cut out a piece because originally his pistol's holstered because he's holding this stupid hourglass thing. But I got rid of that. So I thought, well, we could do another bone sword, or we can do what I believe is one of the cursed legions, maybe. Or maybe it's just a mutated legions. Why don't we do a black dragon? I think that would be super cool. Is it a black dragon? Let me double check. Let me go to my Discord and I'll double check it. I'm pretty sure it's a black dragon. Deathwatch chapters, there it is. Black dragons, yes. So we have this, and the new Deathwatch shield I really love. I've still got one from my Tomb World box, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this. I might have a way to 3D print more of these. I might have to go into some editing software and learn 3D modeling real quick to make it so I can just print this out. And I'll try to do that the best I can. It might just be filled in with green stuff. Most people aren't going to see it anyway, so it's not going to matter that much. But let's go ahead and get to cutting. And I'm hyped about this. I have high hopes that this doesn't fail. So it's just a simple bam, bam, bam. We will not be painting this up in a video. We'll paint it up on stream. If you want to stop by stream, come say hi. Absolutely, come do it, please. Come say hi. I love hearing people and seeing people on stream because y'all make this community great. So there is a slight problem. I don't know if I have the instruction booklet for this. I do have the instruction booklet for this. So I'm going to have an extra challenge because this is all push fit minis. So mainly we're just going to use the body. We don't really need any of the shields. We're going to use the body. Not even an arm. We don't even need an arm. The body, the head, maybe I might head swap it, and the power pack. Those are really the only things we're gonna need. This is the Dawn of War onslaught box. So this is where my Judiciary came from. I do have a plan to do like a Death Watched Blade Guard Ancient. We're gonna cut this off and maybe swap it out with a giant Death Watch logo or something. I don't know yet. I don't know. We'll have to see. We will have to see. Then the chaplain, I've already got a chaplain on bike, so that chaplain might rot for a little bit until I figure out what to do with him. I'm not quite sure what to do, but I have ideas for the Blade Guard Ancient that I'm not doing yet. Eradicators would probably stay normal, but Blade Guard Vets are what we're after right now. And we are going to do the Sergeant Blade Guard Vet. I love how they're actually named. So we're gonna need, which one is this one? This one's the captain. They're all the captain. They're all the exact same. All right, awesome. Let's see. We are going to need 20, 23. Okay, 20, 22, and 23. Because those do not have anything wild on them. So where is 22? Just simply pop these out. Yeah, they're red. It's a red sprue is all. And since we're not gonna have the gun out, we don't need to worry about taking away the pistol grip. So we'll need that. Oh. They all have arms on the body. That's fine. So we needed 20, I believe. Let me double check before I go cutting. There's our 20. We don't have to have the push fit things. And since these are push fit minis, these might have a little bit of unique posing. I'm gonna move my camera again because I didn't realize it was that far off. What else do we need? So that's the front and back. I need 23, which should be the power pack. There it is. I do have tilt shields for Death Watch, but I'm not going to be concerned about doing that. For sure, like I said, this arm's going to come off. As a matter of fact, we're going to do it right here, right now. Right now. So you don't want to. You don't have to do one cut. Just take your time. Be patient doing this. Otherwise, you'll ruin a mini. You'll cut something too deep, too far, and you'll be like, well, how am I going to get around that? So let's just get to cutting. This hurts. So I know this hurts for some people. One day you'll get to the point where you're like, I have such cool ideas. Hold on a second. We got a man down. I repeat, we that bounced right into this Krieg that's sitting on my desk, and it shot him almost off my desk. Also, these things that we're going to be working with are from specifically the Tyranid Warriors kit. So I went and got the Tyranid Warriors for the Bone Swords, and I do have some Tyranid armies, and so I'm like, you know what? I'll go get 3 more, and I'll have a total of 10 Bone Swords that I can use. But not only is it the Bone Swords that I want, it's these. You cut this right here. That's a black dragon's bone spike protruding out of him. You flatten it out in one spot so it can fit properly on a wrist. That's a bone spike. So we got that for a Kitbash. That's gonna be his melee weapon, because he's not gonna have a sword. He's not gonna have a big sword. We'll Kitbash a big sword, but he's not gonna have a big sword for there. So that's that. Let's see. Let's go ahead and put this together before I do any more cutting, because if I do something bad, I'm gonna be mad at myself about it. Sometimes it does help to just put these minis together really quick and then cut, because you can be a little bit more secure with, like, okay, this idea is coming out the way I think it is. And since this is exactly the way I remember, that means you have to have one go all the way through, which means that's all got to be glued. Let me a touch more glue onto this. And I know a lot of love gets thrown towards the oh, I don't have it on that sprue. A lot of love gets thrown towards the melee weapons for the what are they called? The Necrons. You have the Xenos Blade. We're waiting for this to dry, by the way. We have the Xenos Blade, which is always geared towards Necrons. So I'm like, you know what? Why don't we give some Tau some love? That's where my original idea for this came from, was like, or Tau, I'm sorry. Why don't we give some bugs some love? Because I'm all like, they got some really badass looking giant swords. And I just was like thinking off stream, and I'm like, oh, I'm a genius. And I got some money for Christmas, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go. This is money that I didn't expect to have, and I have an idea. Might as well invest a little bit, get some more nids to not paint. And that's a joke. I will be painting a bunch of my Tyranids on January 1st. Well, not January 1st, the night before. Now, this is where you get kind of sketchy and dangerous. Oh, there we go. That's what I needed to do. All right, that's perfectly fine. Nothing green stuff cannot fix. That's probably actually better than I thought it was going to come out. So, it does look like we're going to be missing a piece of something. Yeah. Get that pushed back in. All right. Let's see here. So, sadly, it does look like 24 is going to be necessary. And I did cut the pin out for that. Sometimes you just go too quick, and you do this to yourself. So this is fine. Let me find 24. Where's 24? Let me see why this is showing that it's kind of required. I do have a Deathwatch Pauldron 3D print file. I need to print more Deathwatch Pauldrons. Oh, is it on his damn head? Oh, sometimes push fit minis are the worst. Okay, let's pry this apart real quick. Because it might be a part of his head. And if that's the case, you just put the head on and cut it off. It's absolutely a part of the head. You son of a bitch. 21. I'm sorry. I'm old. Cut me some slack. I'm almost 29. I'm old. Okay, there's what I was looking for. And it absolutely is exactly what I said it was. So, let's put these back together real quick. I just wanted to peel it out because if you don't peel them apart and all of a sudden you got to peel it apart, guess what? It became a lot harder to do that. All right, so throw that down. Actually, we'll leave this with a blade guard head. It's not that a blade guard head doesn't go well with it. It's just easy to do it like that. But I don't know the actual like in lore rules if they would be okay with having this mutated space marine with them, but in my Deathwatch they will. Oh, genius. You should have put this in here. Yeah. Here, I'll fix that problem. So, as you see, I should have put this down in there before. Now I can put it in there whenever. Let's get a little bit of glue in there. And bam. I've painted plenty heads while they're glued down. This is fine. It's not that big of a deal. So, next thing up, that is a spare arm. Let me throw that in my bits box. So, first things first, we need a shield arm. Do we have a proper shield arm? We have a backwards... No. We've got a proper shield arm. Let's see if this will go together. It will if I cut some pieces. All right, we're gonna make some cuts on this. Now, this is actually kind of scary because this is the only one I have. So just Cut under and peel up. Cut under and peel up. Ah! Then cut under. Please peel up. There we go, it's coming. There we go. Same thing to the other side. Again, this is the back side of the shield. Not many people are going to even see this. So, stuff doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, I have to cut that off. Here, let me cut that off. Let me make sure the knife doesn't roll off the table. Go ahead and get this all slathered up. And I gotta make sure it's gonna go on the right side. It is. Okay, so I got a little bit more cutting to do. It might be easier to do it with these. There we go. Just slather it too. If you slather it in this glue, it'll also help melt it down some. Oh wow, this really doesn't like going together. Okay, I've missed one spot apparently. Let me snip this out. As long as the front's intact, that's really all that matters. The front's the cool part anyways. So, there we go. Now we got that Kitbashing rolling. See? And then now... Bam. Ow, you little fucking spiky son of a bitch. You have him holding it close to him, which is perfect, because he's going to have a short-ranged melee weapon. His shoulder pad is a touch large, and that's fine, because I can upscale and downscale 3D prints, so this is an example print. I will not be using this one exactly. I'm pretty sure this is for a Gravis arm. Also, if anything, I can absolutely just snip, 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 green stuff it. I've done it plenty of times before. So that is this side. That's done. That's entirely done. So, well, other than if I gotta snip it, and we'll do that in the next episode, because I'm not ending it now. I'm just saying we'll cut down and do the final touches the next episode. So now he needs an attack arm. Well, I'm not gonna give him a sword, because that's pretty lame for the Death Watch. And he's supposed to be a black dragon, and he's supposed to be mutated, right? So why don't we give him a bone spike, bone spear, we're gonna give him the Tyrannid's bone weapon. Let me shoot this into the garbage can. Let me find an arm that'll work with this. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It's got to be right-handed too. Actually, if I can find one that's like that, but not that one. It doesn't have to be a specific kind of hand, because any of this decoration is going to get covered. So I know you guys are zoomed out and you can't see very well. I do apologize for that. I need to set up my camera a little bit better. That's a right hand. This is a left hand, and it's from something. I don't know what kit this is from. I wanted to have a straight left hand. It like, wait, no, it needs to be a right hand. I'm dumb. I have to think. I have to look and think. A right hand Let's take a look here what we got. Oh, fuck. We got problems with because of the tilt shield. So we want a right hand that's more angling downwards. We can make that happen here. Let me just see what I can find. Angling downwards, but actually, you know what's kind of funny? This kind of actually does do what I want to do. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna cut the bottom piece off of it. And we're gonna keep that. We're gonna keep that for the next episode, because the next episode is gonna be trimming all this together, and then we're gonna be building another one with the bone sword, and hopefully a thing. So also, we're going to take this. We're just gonna cut it straight across, leaving a perfect flat mark, and you're gonna try to do your best to cut this out without slicing that skull. And if you slice the skull, it's fine. I have another way to show you, because most people that will probably want to do this will not have push fit minis, and you guys will have hopefully Blade Guard veterans that you'd rather do this with. And Blade Guard veterans is how I did this one. This is a hilt that goes into I forget what the hell it's called, the sheath for the power swords for them, and that's how I do it. I don't have one in this box. I have one, I don't know where it's at, but it's the, why can't I think of it, the sheath, the scabbard, whatever it's called. Yeah, it's the thing that holds the sword. So keep these on the side, we'll want those later. So now we do actually have an arm where he could be like having it downwards or outwards, it doesn't matter. So next thing's next, we're gonna shave off this iconography. Now don't be worrying about getting too much off, because you have this giant piece that's gonna be protruding out, and we're gonna take some size off of this. We're gonna trim from like here. We're gonna notch it out some, just so it's not as large. It doesn't need to be as large. But let's go ahead and slowly take off some of this iconography. I will give you the benefit of the doubt that you're gonna be better at me than this, because I am terrible at this. Actually, when you got a sharp hobby knife, you put on a fresh hobby knife, it's really not that bad. So let's get rid of this iconography. This is just giving us a little bit more room. And no problems if you gouge it. We're gonna green stuff it here in a minute. Yes, I have green stuff. I almost thought I ran out of green stuff. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. As a matter of fact, yeah, I am gonna take it down to there. So if you wanna see what I'm talking about here, this is my idea. We're gonna have it like that. And if I can hold it here, let me get some blue tack. I have blue tack on my desk for this. I have blue tack on my desk to show you my brilliance. We will, like I said, we'll build these off stream and we'll paint on stream, because I don't like to build minis as much on stream as I do like to paint them. So this is kind of what we're gonna end up with. Now you're gonna say, well, it's not as long as a sword. True, actually, it's really not that far off. And if I really wanted to, I could shave this down. Let's do that. This is the great thing about having green stuff and doing kit bashes. However it turns out, you can absolutely be okay with. It does not need to be perfect. So say for instance, I have extra. This is why I'm doing this. I don't want to cut that. I don't want to cut that. So say this is too much. I want a little less of an angle on how much this comes out. So, okay. So there we go. We made our cut. And so it's flat to some degree. And all we'd have to do... Ooh, I kind of don't like that. See? That's the reason why we've got 5 extra. It's always nice to have extra, and that Tyranid Warriors kit came with a lot extra. So I cut this one a little bit further back. So it's going to be a touch larger. But, again... all that I just cut off is going to be covered in green stuff. And that's how you get your simple, easy bone sword. And if you're going to say, well, aren't people going to notice that there's something wrong? Yeah, they're going to notice something's gone. You're kitbashing, you fool. That's totally fine. Let's actually cut a touch more off. But like I said, when you get a box of Tyranid Warriors, you get 5 bone swords. I'm sorry, you get 6 bone swords and 6 of these arms. You can run them in an all melee variant. You can run them in an all ranged variant. That's why these are so useful. These are just extra bits. I ran all my Tyranid Warriors in ranged variants. I might go grab some more. I like having bits. I like doing these one-offs. These are going to be implemented into an actual army, but eventually I want to do some more one-off minis, that kind of stuff. And I don't know, just give them away to you guys. You guys support me by just chilling, watching stuff, hanging out and stream, and I appreciate you all so much. So I know I've got stuff to still send out and everything for giveaways and that, but I gotta say thank you somehow, and I don't need to keep 1,000 one-off minis, so why not share? I've got no problem with it. Let me find my green stuff and we'll come right back. Okay, we have some green stuff. There's not much. I definitely need to get more. I'm gonna have to run and grab more, but we don't need a crazy huge amount. I'll say this much is probably necessary, and we're probably still, let's half that. You can always mix more green stuff up. So let's just go ahead and mix that. I do have Milliput just in case I run out of green stuff, but green stuff dries way quicker. So there we go. That one was mostly yellow. And it was all yellow. Stupid ass fucking song. Alright, so now that we got this pretty much mixed up good, I'm gonna throw it on the bottom of this, because this is going to be what it protrudes out of. So the green stuff is gonna be the piece of the armor that the bone is supposed to come out of. And let me see. Yep, I mean, it'll work. Hold on, I dropped it. It'll work. Let's, oh, it doesn't lay flat, no! That's fine, we'll do it this way. We'll push everything for green stuff towards the bottom. We'll give it a nice base. I don't need that much on the back. Come on, work with me here. I am no green stuff expert, by the way. I am giving you this warning right now. So if whatever you see me end up with, you can do just as good, probably better. I still think that's way too large, and I do have all the extra green stuff. So let's pull this green stuff off of there real quick. Let's go ahead and snip this down. More like that. That's most of it. And then the rest of it can kind of come out further. That's fine. So get it on there. My hands are going to start cramping any fucking second now. I can already feel it. And you could say, you know, why don't you just 3D print this? You could, but kitbashing is more fun, honestly. and it's something that you've worked hard on and you got to make. Plus, you might be using some bits from another army you really like and enjoy. While I do not like to paint my Tyranids, I do actually enjoy having Tyranids for an army. I did take it a touch far on that, but that's all right. Hold on. I've got a little bit more of the green stuff from earlier. Let's get that all around there like that. Let me grab a tool to kind of help flatten out these edges a little bit. These are clay sculpting tools. I got them the day I got my green stuff. And actually, you know what? We're probably just going to let this dry, which is going to take time. And we'll pick it up in the next video, which will be cutting that down, shaping it a little bit better, because it's just right now it's just a big glob sticking out of his arm. So we'll cut it down a little bit, shape it a little bit more. This is also my first run at doing this. We might switch it up, try it with a different kind of thing. I do have these ones, but these ones are a little bit thinner. They curve quite a bit more. I'd rather have the outstretched length cut more to it, but we'll see what it looks like in the next episode. So until then, keep kitbashing. Just enjoy your hobby. That's really all I gotta say. Enjoy doing your hobby. I know it's a chore to do it sometimes, but hey man, I knocked all of these out. I knocked all of those out in like 8 hours. If I can do that, you can get a couple of them done too, especially that fucking Imperial Fist one. That thing sucks. Yellow, don't ever paint yellow. Don't ever choose yellow. Don't ever choose yellow or white paints. It's so bad. Just for me it is. I understand there's other ways to do it. I'm just saying I hate painting it. So wherever you are in the world, have a good day, evening, and or night, and we'll see you in the next apparently like 30-minute video, because this video took forever to do. So I'll probably try to edit it down some, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.